What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's your man Stephen Bardo coming at you with another pregame sauce. I got to change my overlay there. There we go. Pregame sauce. Happy Sunday morning to everyone. I hope your weekend is going well. Zoomer Sports, good to see you. Got a huge one today in the Big Ten, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, TV Telly? Good to see you guys. Man, they don't come much better than this in college basketball. Number 3, Michigan versus number 4, Ohio State. And these are the games that we want to see Michigan play, right? Because right when Michigan was getting into the teeth of their Big Ten schedule, they had to go on pause. So their first challenge was at Wisconsin, and they passed with flying colors. They cut Wisconsin's lights out in the second half on the road to win that game. They were down double digits at halftime, and were able to come back after a long pause. So Michigan really, I thought that was, if not the most impressive win in the Big Ten thus far, definitely top 3. So today is going to be fantastic. Number 3, Michigan at number 4, Ohio State. It'll tip in about 12. Well, they'll start the coverage in about 12 minutes. Just want to give you guys some things to look at. Brandon Goebel, 72. Daniel Poneman. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you, bro. I ain't seen you in a while. _noise 22. What's happening? So we got number 3, Michigan, and number 4, Ohio State. Key player for Michigan, Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson, the Big Ten has kind of figured out ways to slow him down. He was tearing the league up at first because you got to pay attention to Franz Wagner. You got to pay attention to Isaiah Livers. Mike Smith can sting you. Eli Brooks can sting you. Michigan has so many weapons. But Hunter Dickinson really came on the scene and just lit up the Big Ten. But what happens in a conference like the Big Ten, they get a chance to see you. They get 5-6 games of film. They watch different teams play you. And so Hunter's now, people are slowing Hunter Dickinson down. He's still highly effective, but they're slowing him down. But what happens is with Michigan, you got to pick your poison. You're going to load up on Hunter Dickinson. And if you do that, Franz Wagner, Eli Brooks, Smith, these guys, they'll sting you, right? Because Michigan is number 7 on both offensive and defensive efficiency in the nation, according to Ken Palm's statistics. That's tremendous balance. That's why they are number 3 in the country. They're number 4 in the Ken Palm rating. They are number 2 effective field goal percentage defense are the Michigan Wolverines. So they want to establish Hunter Dickinson early and often so that he can open up the floor, because Ohio State is probably the most physical team in the Big Ten. And if you see Ohio State walking through the airport, they're not going to scare you. They don't have 7-footers. They don't have a bunch of guys, but Zed Key, Justice Suing, Kyle Young, EJ Liddell, these guys, they like scrapping. They like being physical. So it's going to be interesting. I think Hunter Dickinson can use his size, can use his passing ability to draw double teams to open up offense for his teammates. All right. The keys for Michigan: limit EJ Liddell's opportunities. Illinois found out that if you don't lock in on EJ Liddell early, he'll sting you all over the place. EJ Liddell, 6'7", kind of a hybrid forward, can score a lot of different ways. He can go in the post. He can pull you away from the bucket. Chris Holtman and his staff do a fantastic job of getting EJ Liddell in situations where the opponents, they have to make a decision, because you got Dwayne Washington Jr. on one side that they usually put him on the same side as Liddell. And if you double on Liddell, he kicks out to Washington. He's going to bang threes all day. So Michigan's going to have to figure out a way to corral and limit EJ Liddell's opportunities. That's the key for Michigan. Key player for Ohio State is Dwayne Washington Jr. Against Michigan, they're so good defensively that you're not going to be able to run your stuff a lot of times. You're not going to be able to run your offensive sets because Michigan just takes you out of what you're trying to do. They're that good defensively. So against Michigan, you guys, if you see an opening, if you don't take it and you defer and you pass, you may not get another opening in the shot clock. Dwayne Washington Jr. is one of the few guys, in my opinion, on Ohio State that can go get his own shot. They don't have a ton of guys that can break formation and go get you a bucket, but he's one of them. And he's going to be counted on early and often to do that, because you're gonna see in today's game that Michigan does a really good job of slowing teams down that want to get going. Ohio State is the number 3 offensive efficiency team in the nation. They are excellent. They are an offensive juggernaut because they share the wealth. So Dwayne Washington really going to have to bring it for Ohio State. He's the key player for them. And then Ohio State's got to push tempo because Michigan suffocates teams. If you can't get flow, if you can't get some fast break opportunities, if you can't get some advantage 2-on-1, 3-on-2 opportunities, broken offensive opportunities, you're not going to score just straight up against Michigan. You're not going to walk the ball up, run your offense, and expect to shoot 45 to 50% from the field against the Wolverines. It's not going to happen. They're too good defensively. They're too old, they're too big, and they're too deep. So Ohio State is going to have to force tempo. Michigan does a great job of defensive transition, but you still got to push because you got to try to get early opportunities in your offensive set against Michigan. Tina Strong, what's good? Tina Strong is an Illini. She works at Michigan. We won't hold that against her. I'm just playing with you, Tina. Glad to have you on here. I always thank you. Appreciate your support. Timmy Henry, what's good? Peyton Pitts, Lisa 58 basketball. Good to see you on here once again. All right, let me get to my tribe, see what they're talking about. Let's see. What's up, Anastasia Walker? Anastasia Walker, y'all. I don't know that Anastasia Walker played basketball, but she gave me a great assist. So thank you, love. You know what I'm talking about. Whatever you need, I got you. So thank you. I appreciate you. Carol Pope, Kent, what's happening? Good to see you, tribe member. I don't know. Joakim 83. That's my best shot. An Illini fan cheering for Ohio State. Okay, that's interesting. You're an Illini fan. Why are you cheering for Ohio State as opposed to Michigan? I'd like to hear your reasoning behind that. I love the avatar though. That's pretty dope. What's up, Jeff Jarvis? Ohio. Okay, so we got some Ohio State fans on here. Jeff Jarvis grew up with me in Carbondale. He's tribe member. I don't know why Jeff is saying Ohio, but I'm sure he'll tell me. King Tao, hey Steven, you did your thing yesterday on yesterday's broadcast. Illini had to cut down the nets in Indy. Oh, King, I don't know. I mean, they definitely got a chance because, boy, the way they looked yesterday in Minneapolis against the Gophers, who, in all fairness, the Gophers are excellent at home. Only lost one game at home to Maryland. They beat Ohio State, Iowa, and Michigan. They gave Michigan their only loss of the year up there. But their starting two guard, Gabe Kalsher's out with a broken finger. Their excellent big man, Liam Robbins, is battling an ankle injury, and he could barely move yesterday. So Minnesota wasn't the same team that was a giant killer that the Illini got yesterday. But the Illini put their foot on the Gophers yesterday. And Ayo Dosunmu with his second triple-double. There's only been 2 triple-doubles in Illinois basketball history. Illinois basketball is the 11th winningest basketball program in the nation. There had only been 2 triple-doubles before this season. Ayo Dosunmu got his second triple-double this season in the last 2 weeks yesterday. So the Illini are really starting to put it together. What's up, Joe Brown? Thanks for jumping on. Love how you break down the teams. No one knows it like you. Thank you, Carol. I think there are some people, Carol, that know it like me, but I don't know that guys in my business understand where the business is. It's not where it's going. The business is here. It's digital. It's not television. It's digital. So you can do a lot more things with digital. And, hopefully they'll get on it. I had a feeling Illinois would have a big game yesterday. Today should be a very interesting. People say Michigan hasn't been tested yet. Today is a true test for sure. Michigan has been tested, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe that misnomer. Meredith Evans, what's good? RJ's 240s, 240s. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on again. Michigan's been tested. Don't believe that misnomer. This is a great test, a great matchup, but they've definitely been tested. What's up, George? George James Andrews, one of the great. I think this is George. I'm talking one of the great sports agents. Good to see you, George. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Defending the three will be big for today for Michigan, whoever that Facebook user is. I agree. Ohio State is, again, the number 3 offensive efficiency team in the nation. They are a juggernaut. Okay? So that's a good point, whoever that Facebook user is. Okay, they like Michigan. Okay. Oh, this must be Uncle Smoothie here. That's what Uncle Smoothie does. He puts Bardo. What's up, Uncle Smoothie? Good to see you, brother. I love you got that podcast going. I haven't tuned in yet, but I'm going to check you out, and we're going to give you some love on here. Keep doing your thing. P. Bryan 77, did you ever play against Jamal Mashburn? No, I didn't, but I got a chance to talk to Jamal Mashburn Sr. at halftime yesterday. It was great seeing him. His son is a baller. Jamal Mashburn Jr. from Minnesota had his career high at Indiana last week, played very well yesterday. He's a baller. Jordan Ash was good. My young buck will be joining me. We're going to try to get on next week, this week coming up. Jordan Ash, former Wildcat great, Northwestern Wildcat great. He's going to join me on Bardo's Breakdown. We're going to break down the Big Ten this week. I'm trying to get the day. I'll put that announcement out to you guys. Because I need some young bloods with me. And I'm an old head. My paint, I need some more paint, y'all. My paint is kind of fading a little bit. I need a cut too. I'm looking a little wild over here. Clux 3Y. I don't know if I've seen you before, but thank you for jumping on. D Chisholm, what's happening, D Chisholm? Thank you for jumping on. Yes, Anastasia. You know, I try to do it. LaVie Smith. I haven't seen you in a while, Mrs. Smith. I could hear the pride in your voice yesterday while you were broadcasting the Illinois-Minnesota game yesterday. I see Final Four. LaVie, I hope you didn't hear the pride because I had to call the game down the middle. But it's hard not to be effusive in your praise when you're calling a game that Illinois is playing, especially at this time. They are hitting on all cylinders. And if you guys didn't watch Illinois yesterday, they've got a really good matchup. I believe they go to Michigan State on Tuesday. Michigan State, they're out of the NCAA tournament as of today. They got a big win at Indiana yesterday. They'll be primed for the lineup. That's going to be a great matchup. Every game for Illinois moving forward is going to be a great matchup because they're going to get everyone's best shot as the number 5 team in the country. And Ayo Dosunmu, Jared Butler, got respect for you, bro, down in Baylor. Love your game. Ayo Dosunmu is the best guard in the country. Period. Right now, before today's game, who do you think deserves that last number 1 seed? Ohio State or Illinois? Ohio State so far, Ohio State has the most quad 1 victories in the country. They got more quad 1 victories than any team in the country. So right now, Ohio State, but Illinois is right behind them. And, you know, they'll get their chance. So we'll see. I don't like to project like that because we got a lot of time left. I'm going to wrap up here real quick. I got to get through these because the game is going to come on. I know the coverage starts here in a second. They probably won't tip for another 5 minutes, so I'm going to try to get to you guys. Let me get through these. If allowed to say who wins, Michigan or Ohio State, I think the long layoff will hurt Michigan. Roberto Garcia makes an excellent point, and here's why. The first game off of a pause, teams are playing off emotion, energy, effort, and they're just playing on a high because they're back playing. The second game back is a little bit tougher for teams sometimes. So the game is at Ohio State. I'm going to pick the upset today. I like Ohio State in the upset. So what do you guys think? But Roberto, that's a great point. How far do you think the Hawkeyes will go in the tournament? D. Chisholm, if Iowa gets a favorable seed, because their game at Wisconsin showed me something different. The Hawkeyes played defense like I hadn't seen them play defense. If they can capture that defensive effort that they had in Madison, Iowa's a Final Four team because they can score with anybody in the country. And as long as CJ Frederick is healthy, Bohannon is a shell of himself. They don't list him as hurt, but Bohannon's not moving the same. He can't free himself up. You know, he had offseason hip surgery. I'm not sure if he's 100% healthy. He doesn't look the same. Joe Wieskamp is playing out of his mind, reigning Big Ten Player of the Week. If Iowa can play the defense that they played at Wisconsin a little bit more consistently, they could be a Final Four team. Big Ten could literally have 3 teams in the Final Four, depending on the draw, obviously, of the seeding and the draw. So that's how high I think of Iowa. They swooned a little bit. They had a little dip. But I was just talking to Greg Gard from Wisconsin earlier today. He brought up a great point. Wisconsin, Iowa, their fan bases are kind of like, oh, why aren't you up there with Michigan, Ohio State, and Illinois? This conference is brutal. The Big Ten is brutal. You can't mark any team and say, okay, we're going to win that game. Illinois had to go to overtime to beat Nebraska. They were up on Northwestern. Illinois was up at home on Northwestern, and Northwestern made it a 3-point game in the 2-minute mark. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a juggernaut. Right now, it's the most competitive conference ever, according to Ken Palm. Since 1991, or maybe 99. Since 1999, I believe Ken Palm has been doing his statistics. The Big Ten this year is the most statistically dominant conference ever. Well, since that time. So I'm telling y'all, man, it's when these teams get out of this conference and get into the Big Ten the NCAA tournament, I'm telling you, they're going to do quite well. M. Montel 638, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Going with Michigan, of course. No emotion there at all, says Tina Strong. I mean, Tina, it's a coin flip. I would not be surprised at all if Michigan won. But I think Ohio State is primed for them right now. Pete Rosenberry, great analysis, Stephen. What areas do you see Illinois still needing improvement? Pete, if I was to be honest, I'd be nitpicking. They got the best 1-2 punch in the country. Io Kwame Dean, because that's his first name, Kwame Dean. I really need to start calling him. That's his dad's name. They call him Io to differentiate between dad and son. His name is Kwame Dean. So Kwame Dean and Kofi are the best 1-2 punch in college basketball. Consider this, Illini and Big Ten fans. If Luka Garza and Io DeSumo were not in the conference right now, who's the leading candidate for Big Ten Player of the Year? You could say Trace Jackson Davis. Some might say Travion Williams. I say Kofi Cockburn. Among power conference players, Kofi Cockburn is leading the country in double-doubles. He's a double-double machine. He's learned how to stay out of foul trouble. His teammates are feeding him better. He's learned how to move without fouling. I'm telling you, I don't know that, and I'm nitpicking here. They probably could take better care of the basketball, but that's it. They're shooting free throws better. Jacob Grandison has been a huge shot arm. Trent Frazier is playing his best basketball of his career. DeMonte Williams, even though he's not scoring a lot, he's still defending. He's still setting up his teammates. He's still doing exactly what the Illini need him to do. And Andre Corbello didn't have his best game yesterday, but did you see that pass? Look, you guys, I'm going to try to show you this. Corbello's going this way. He's at the elbow. He's at the right elbow. There's traffic. There's 2 Gopher defenders right on him. He's off a ball screen action. So he comes off of Kofi Cockburn like this. Kofi sets the pick. Kofi rolls to the bucket. Andre Corbello is coming like this. So Kofi's man comes on to Andre, and then Andre's defender comes on him. He got 2 defenders. Andre whips the ball behind his back, bounce pass, right to Kobe for a dunk. That kid has nuts, man. He's got chutzpah. I'm telling you. I would never think to make that pass. He didn't, it was instinctive. It's just boom. So I don't want to nitpick on the Illini because that's all I'd be doing. They're playing the best basketball of any team right now in the country. So could they take better care of basketball? Yes, but all teams could do that. So, but thank you, Pete, for your comment there. I appreciate that. Dave, Coach Davis, what's up? I watched the Illinois game that you called. You have been breaking down how good they are, and this game is a strong example of what you've been talking about. Totally agree. What's the Tribe? Oh, go Bucks. Okay, we got Ohio State. The Tribe is the inner group of Bardo's Breakdown. So if you want to join the Tribe, go to Bardo's Breakdown group on Facebook. You can go to the page because that's usually where we have the show. But the group, I give insight. I gave a little video when I was at Williams Arena yesterday because that was one of the few games that I was on location. So I like to give my Tribe members inside look. I'm going to give them my free March Madness picks. I'm charging everybody else for it. Not a lot, but my inner group gets my free picks so that they can go win their brackets and get money, right? So if you want to be a part of the inner group, 2 ways to do it. Go to Bardo's Breakdown group on Facebook. There's 3 simple questions. One of them is leave your email. I noticed there are people that are going in there and they want to join the group, but they don't leave their email. You can't join if you don't leave your email. There's too much value in there to give a simple exchange of your email. And I'm going to hold strong on that. I'm not letting any exceptions because the people that do follow, they get rewarded. So answer the 3 questions, you're in. You can also text me to 312-847-2739, and you'll be in the Tribe as well. So there's 2 different ways to do it. Bardo's Breakdown group, Facebook, 312-847-2739. Text me, and you're in. J Cliff 313, thanks for jumping on. What about their depth? If Io fouls out, for example, do you think Andre can lead the Illini to a Sweet 16 Elite 8 level win? Jordan Ash, great question, Jordan. I think as long as Trent Frazier and DeMonte Williams are not in foul trouble, if Io finds himself in foul trouble, I think they can. Because Trent Frazier is playing great. DeMonte Williams is playing great. They're seniors. They've been through it. And they can kind of stabilize things. Jordan, Illinois got a preview of this when they went to Indiana and got robbed on 2 horrible calls on Georgie Bashanis-Veely and Ayo Dosunmu, 5th fouls. Fouled him out of the game late in regulation at Indiana. Illinois gets to overtime. Andre Curbelo makes some great plays. Illinois wins. So that was a small sample size. Great question, though, as always. That's why I'm having Jordan on here with me. This dude he's Northwestern educated, so y'all know he's smart. He was smart before he got to Northwestern because he comes from a great family, and he's a great dude. But he's Northwestern educated, played in the Big Ten. He knows the game, and he's got a totally different perspective from mine, which I want to bring you guys because that's the value. You guys give me your time when you tune in. I want to give you as much value as possible. And so we're going to bring Jordan on a consistent basis because he called a women's game and he's trying to get into the business. So we're going to get him going so that he can get more work because he definitely needs to be on the air. BLC 411, thanks for jumping on. Goal line at 9094. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is that my man from Columbia, Isaac? What's up, Isaac? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Trevor Valise. Thank you, Trevor, for jumping on. Andre Moody. What's up, Stephen? Do you think Illinois will be the number 4 ranked team and whoever loses between Michigan or Ohio State drops to number 5? Good question, Andrew. That's probably what's going to happen. They'll drop a little bit, but depending on if the game goes down to the wire, they just may flip. They may not penalize Michigan that much, but I don't know because I don't pay attention to the rankings. That's more for you guys. those rankings, I look more at the Ken Palm rankings and the standings in the conference. I look more at that. The rankings are for the fans. So I don't know how it's weighted. If you lose by 10 or if you lose, I don't really know. So, but good question, but I don't really know. All right. He said cheering for Ohio State just today so Illinois can get closer to Michigan for the Big Ten title race. Okay. Thank you for your description. Makes total sense. Thank you for that. Robert Santana, right now before today's game, who do you think deserves that last number 1 seed? Ohio State right now. If they lose today, Illinois, it's nitpicking. It's really nitpicking. So who deserves it? Both teams deserve it because they're both excellent. I'm sorry, Robert. I know that didn't answer your question. Today, Ohio State, but it doesn't matter because if Illinois is number 2 and they match up with number 1 Gonzaga, I'm good with it because you know what? They played not number 1 Gonzaga or number 1 Baylor in the NCAA had a mock top 6, or they had a 16 draw, and Illinois was in the same bracket as Baylor. Bring it on. I don't care if Illinois is number 2 seed with Gonzaga. Bring it on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you got to beat the best to be the best. So those don't really matter to me. It's more matchups than seedings and all that. So Illinois still lacks consistency to be considered a Final Four contender. Anastasia, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Illinois lacks consistency. I wish you guys were flies on the wall when we talk to these Big Ten coaches. I'm not going to, you know what? I'm going to stop naming their names. But talk to a coach this morning, and these guys can really give you a different sense of how difficult this league is. I would, Big Ten fans, I want you to do this. I want you to go to the SEC. I want you to go to the Big 12. I want you to go to the ACC and the Pac-12. And I want you to take their bottom 3 teams. And I want you to watch a game or watch a clip of them. Then I want you to watch Nebraska, Penn State, and Northwestern. And I want you to see the difference. Illinois doesn't lack consistency, Anastasia. Illinois is number 5 team in the country with the best 1-2 punch in the country. They're getting everybody's best shot. Teams are playing above their potential sometimes when they play Illinois, Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa, Wisconsin, because they're elite. Everybody's gunning for the top teams. So they don't necessarily lack consistency. These dudes are on scholarship as well. You're not going to see a perfect Illini game. You're not going to see a perfect Michigan or Ohio State game. I got to wrap this up because the game has started. I might root for Russians if they play Michigan. Jeff Jarvis, you guys are hilarious. What Big Ten team stands the best chance against Baylor or Gonzaga? D. Chisholm. If you play Gonzaga, you have to be able to score the basketball. That's Ohio State, Illinois, and Iowa. If you play Baylor, you got to be able to score the basketball and defend. That's Ohio State, Michigan, and Illinois. So I think I like the Michigan, Illinois, Ohio State, Iowa. If Iowa plays D like they did at Wisconsin, I like their chance against Baylor or Gonzaga. I really do. Maybe I'm Big Ten drunk. I don't know. Obviously I watch more Big Ten and Big East basketball because I cover both conferences, but I keep an eye on the other conferences. I tell you, those are outstanding teams. Baylor and Gonzaga are the 2 best teams in the country. But on any given day, these Big Ten teams can compete. Got to run. Got to go watch the game because I know it started. Love y'all. Have a great Sunday. Tune in 6 p.m. Me and Brandon Gaudin on the 1s and 2s on Big Ten Network. We've got Wisconsin and Northwestern, 6 p.m. tonight on Big Ten Network. Catch up with y'all later. Enjoy the game. Love y'all. Peace, y'all.